because it always weirds myself out talking to a camera. I actually made an outline to try to drive like my attempts at content content monetization. No, anyway, let's cut to the chase. All right, so big plans. So some people are not familiar with who Earl Schaefer is. Earl Schaefer was the first person to complete the Appalachian Trail, the 2,000 some odd mile odyssey that small community of people are tuned in with. But so to paraphrase, when they asked him why he was going to do this or why he was doing it, he simply said he was walking off the war. Like he had to walk off the war, which I like 100% understand and respect. So we'll get into that to stay on the bullet points. Background: 20 plus years in service in the U.S. Army at multiple capacities. Keep it brief. I was in every campaign of the global war on terrorism, Ukraine and Africa. My abroad time out of 20 accumulates somewhere over 12, and that's just abroad outside that whole training pipeline and schooling that goes with those kind of jobs. Fitness and long-range trekking are two things that interest me the most now that I'm like starting my transition out of the military. I hold multiple instructor certs for all types of military things. And this is like a Appalachian Trail focused video, so I've cumulatively over 20 years in service. Whenever I got a break, I tried to hit the mountains as much as I could. Some years it worked, some years it didn't, but in that I've accumulated roughly over 500 miles on the AT, mostly in the north. I've lived in the mountains of the Hindu Kush for about a year. I've been in multiple clandestine operation areas, but moving further on as I try to not vlog but memoir and catalog these thoughts. Some of the things I've done in the military have non-disclosure agreements attached to them, if y'all understand what that means. And also there were some multiple events that happened where I would want counterparts' approval in me even like sharing the story, like the story being that deep. Like it wouldn't be one of those things like the names and faces have been changed. No, like I wouldn't do that. I would want like the full blessing if it was a key player in that story to be like, hey, I'm okay with you telling that story. Like not to go off on a tangent, but there's like I got it. There's a big space for ex-military and the social media, but there's some things best left unsaid. It's a whole community. Those of you who nerd out on it, y'all know what I'm talking about. The biggest one, so I'm not a TikTok kid, you know what I mean, just banging out videos on TikTok, and I'm not going to be in my uniform bashing it. Don't use TikTok for honestly, DOD, you're not even supposed to use it. I think they're going to ban it in America, blah blah blah. But like that's the worst thing you could ever see is when you see a dude or a girl, guys and girlettes in their uniform just doing crazy shit on TikTok, like and social media. Period. You're not supposed to discuss views, politics. You're not supposed to be in your fucking uniform on the goddamn. It's not an official release from the military, buddy. It's just that. Not to be all weird in the military. Then to also document how the retirement process goes, because that's apparently not a friendly thing. Like, hey, you give them your whole young adult life, and now here we are, it's time to go. So I'm gonna try to document the stressors and ins and out of that, if anybody's on that same road. This is not gonna be like a vlog series. It's gonna be like a working on my memoir, because I'm gonna just not even do that on the video. I'm literally gonna talk it when I'm doing the AT. That's gonna be my biggest thing, is to have my memoir from 1 year to 20 years in the military, as much as I can articulate and get out, having to relive some of that. And I'm just gonna have the full voice memo have it transcribed, and I've already reached out to a publisher on that. So it's one of the main things why the side thing is happening. The main plan for AT, everybody who's doing it right now, dude, super congratulations if you've made it this far, or anybody who you have done it or you have aspirations to do it. It is an ultimate lifetime goal. So hopefully drop my papers when I go to my new installation, and I'm going to request that like my last day in the military be around like that late July with like a August 1st start, and it will be an August 1st start SOBO, so southbound, and like I appreciate everybody who has the whole tramline and that whole social experience, and I love you guys, but that's not really what I need. And honestly, that works best in my time range, so I could make it back for my my twin daughter's birthday. That would be so great if I could just end that in Georgia. So what I owe you, be a like, share, subscribe, but I'm gonna keep on it. I'm gonna do one a week because my daughters love it. So one video a week, one overnighter a month, and then just things I'll just touch. Training for the AT, durability, like how to get your body right. Like, it's mountain terrain is a lot different than walking, and I'm gonna try to make it more actual smart and like sports science tied, versus how I grew up in the military, where it's just like, hey, throw the fucking pack on, we're going, you know. And field training and field craft and military skills tying over to civilian skills, and see. I actually think I'm going to be a more efficient backpacker, and I'm a gear nerd already. I already watch all the civilian shit on YouTube. Transition in that process, and I'll have to have the proverbial gear reviews and loadouts and all that. And I'm going to stay to this, so if you're part of it and you're coming along, just give input and ask questions. Like, I don't really want your armchair warrior input, but if you've done